YouTube. We're going to do a quick look today at the Spirit Within Tarot, created by Stephen Bright. I received this a few weeks ago and have been playing with it a bit. It's got one of these nice little magnetic clamshell boxes, which I do appreciate, and a little guidebook that comes with it. So the cards themselves in this deck, I have to be honest, not really a fan. They are like decent thickness in terms of the cardstock, but they're glossy and they really stick to one another. So when you're shuffling, these are really tough for me to shuffle. Like they keep falling over, or I can't get, like a good grip on a group of them. So that is something I have to admit that I dislike about the deck. But the art is lovely. So here is the back, also because it's glossy, it may be a little difficult to show you. So these cards are very kind of minimalist silhouettes, black silhouettes on a colorful background. I do really like the way this deck reads because I find that the images are sort of iconic and they're good for like a quick hit intuitively. There's not a lot going on. There's not a lot of like little things to grab onto either, but I do feel that they capture emotion really well. Here's the sun, for example. Like you get kind of the feel of the card. A lot of the images are more modern, like here's the chariot, it's a skateboard. The Three of Pentacles is like kind of the classical take, but it has a little more of a modern look to the building. Three of Cups. One of my favorite cards in this deck, I'm going to show you specifically, is the Fool. So I really like the way the Fool is posing. If you've done dance, which I was a dancer for about 20 years, then you might recognize this particular shape. It's often, it would be like a dancer's traveling in one direction, and then you kind of cross one foot over and then end up like going back the other direction. And I thought that was really interesting for the Fool because to me, that the feeling of movement in this card isn't just like off the cliff or just stepping off or jumping off the cliff, but it's actually this kind of like held pause where the travel could continue off the cliff, but it could also turn around. So I thought that was like an interesting way to look at the Fool. It's a little bit different, and I find that card kind of resides differently in my consciousness than other versions of the Fool. So that was kind of fun. I do like this deck. I hope that at some point it will get reprinted on slightly easier to shuffle cards. And as far as size, so my hands are fairly average, so you can kind of see the size there as well. And the guidebook just gives you a little kind of quick look. It tells you about what's on the card specifically. I do like that for decks that are kind of different from like a typical Rider-Waite, that they do kind of give a little bit of information on why what's there is there. And I also like, they have keywords, which I don't care that much about, but I like the top of each description in the guidebook. There's a little first person, just a quick snippet in first person. For example, Seven of Cups. I am the one who represents fantasy. Sometimes my choices may become overwhelming. When you meet with me, remember to stay focused and undistracted. So it's actually from the point of view of the card. And I really like that. I think that's a nice touch. If you enjoyed this review, please do like and subscribe. And if there's a particular deck that you'd like to see more about, then leave a comment below. And if I have it, I'll be happy to review it. Have a great day.